So for those of you who did decide to trade at the levels that I gave you using the 30-minute confirmation in the video I posted on July 29th, the last one, you should have made hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars within the stock market. Every single level I gave you ended up working out. If you use the 30-minute confirmation, you should have been banking on those overall trades. In terms of this video, I'm going to be providing to you the new levels of interest that I'm planning to trade at, along with the recent trades that we made today inside of Team Roar. I'm going to walk you through the unique trading strategies that I ended up using towards my levels and confirmations. Let's get straight into the analysis. So in terms of the video that I last posted, I made it very clear that 554 was the key level of interest where we were planning to buy put options. As you can see, as soon as the SPY filled this gap at 553.76 today, it did end up having a massive drop and the level ended up working phenomenally. Now, in terms of the other levels, I made it very clear if you see a break above this 547.30 level, this is where the bulls got trapped for 3 days in a row. If you see a break above this resistance level and then you see a 30-minute bullish confirmation, you're going to want to be buying call options. So today was the day where we got a massive gap up for a gap and go, and there was a 30-minute bullish bottom pin at and closing above our level, which is confirmation to be buying call options right here on the opening of the next 30-minute candle at 548.73. So if you're using the 30-minute confirmations, it's going to confirm your success for the trade. But at times, when you're buying calls, you're going to be buying above the key level. And when you're buying puts, you're going to be buying below the key level. I made it very clear if you watched the video. Once we crack under 545, you can see right here, we had resistance for 3 days in a row. And then we had two red bearish 30-minute confirmations. Then we had another red bearish 30-minute confirmation. And I made it very clear, if you see a red bearish 30-minute confirmation at this 545 level, you're going to want to buy put options. So we wait for the candlesticks to close. You should have been in on put options at 543.85 under the level if you're using the 30-minute confirmation. And then I told you for a gap close reversal. This is the same strategy that we used last week to get you in on call options at the exact bottom at 537. Remember, we had a gap close reversal at 537. What did I tell you? When the SPY fills the gap at 538.50 and you see a green bullish 30-minute confirmation, you're going to want to buy call options, ride it back up to 543. As you can see, once we closed the gap, we had a green bullish 30-minute confirmation at the gap. So you should have been buying call options on the opening of this 30-minute candle at 540.40. So if you're using the confirmations, you should be having a very high win rate day trading and scalping towards these levels with the 30-minute confirmations. Every single level that I provided ended up working with the proper confirmations on the 30-minute chart, man. There is no excuse to be red. Losing is literally a choice if you followed the game plan. Now, in terms of the trades that I ended up making recently, I'm going to break these down for you. So, in terms of yesterday, this was the main trade. You guys know I trade best during the power hour trading session. Yesterday at 3:30 p.m., the exact opening of the last 30-minute candlestick on the day, I ended up buying 542 calls for 78 cents. I ended up buying these 542 calls at 78 cents a contract. I was scaling out in the 150s and I closed out the rest towards the exact peak in the 190s, man. And I explained every single reason why I was buying these call options. Right before I got in, I made it very clear. It's looking bullish. The green, red, green 30-minute pattern. Do you remember that pattern that I've been teaching you for years on this overall channel? The green, red, green pattern. When you see SPY break above a resistance on the 30-minute chart and then the new floor is forming above that previous resistance, when it drops back down, you see the green, red, green. I literally called it out in real time. Not only giving you the real-time market analysis, but giving you the exact real-time trade alert. So I explained that the 30-minute candle was supposed to close strong and bullish. I ended up buying 542 calls at 78 cents. I'm going to break down the trade for you here real quick. And then in terms of where I ended up getting out, I sold half at 157, and then we sold the rest towards the exact peak at 194. That's over 100% profit return at the speed of fucking light in less than 20 minutes. So in terms of that trade, this is why I ended up buying call options. So you guys are well aware, I wanted to buy calls at the gap. there was a gap to fill below at 538.50. We got very strong support towards this 537 to 538.50 range where the SPY can quickly go back up to 543, which is what I had said in the video. So with that being said, I noticed that the SPY was having a gap close reversal. Now there was confirmation to buy call options right here if you used the level and the strategy that I had taught you, right? You can even see right here, look at the pattern, man. Green, red, green. Slanted to the right side. Next 30-minute candlestick is going to be bullish. You're going to want to buy call options. I did not catch that opportunity. But if you were to apply what it is that I teach you and what it is that I do trade, I'm not going to capture every single fucking trade, but if you applied it, you could have been in on call options at the opening of this. We had the green, red, green pattern. We had a green bullish 30-minute confirmation at the gap for a reversal. So that's confirmation to buy calls in the opening of this candle. So I ended up using the same exact pattern to buy call options later in the day. You guys are well aware in terms of my main trading strategy, I like to wait later into the day for history to really start to repeat itself, for something to really begin to repeat. So in terms of the overall trading strategy, you're going to see right here, this is previous resistance. Your previous resistance is towards the highs of these 30-minute candlesticks, towards the highs and towards the closing. We had the green, red, green pattern. We had a green bullish 30-minute confirmation at the gap, which is confirmation to buy call options. You stack everything in the favor. Green, red, green, bullish pattern. Gap close reversal, bullish pattern. Buy call options on the opening of this 30-minute candle, sell into the move. It typically lasts for about an hour. Now, with that being said, this is what I had noticed. I had noticed that the SPY was in the process of having a bullish reversal. It was in the process of having a gap close reversal. And then I noticed that we were breaking above resistance. Do you see all this resistance for 90 minutes straight? I noticed that the SPY was breaking above resistance, which is bullish. And then I noticed that the SPY was forming a higher floor above the previous resistance. This red line, this 90 minutes worth of price action is your previous resistance. The SPY has a break above the resistance. It is forming a new floor for 2 hours straight. Look at the bottom of this candle, look at the bottom of this candle, look at the bottom of this candle, look at the bottom of this candle. 2 hours straight, we are forming a floor above the previous resistance. The green, red, green pattern is bullish. The SPY is breaking out. The SPY is forming a new higher floor above the previous 90 minutes of resistance, right? Notice how this happened ever since the green, red, green pattern, ever since the break above this resistance, ever since the green bullish 30-minute confirmation at the gap close reversal. This information is what nobody else is teaching you, because this is how I see the market. So I noticed that there was a green, red, green pattern. Do you see that? And I noticed that the same pattern repeated recently. Green, red, green, slanted to the right side. Green, red, green, slanted to the right side. And what do I tell you all the time? When SPY has these top wicks, this wick at the top right here, this wick at the top right here, when there is a bullish confirmation, the SPY likes to explode back up to test and try to break above these wicks. So that is the reason why I bought call options at the opening of that 30-minute candle. Green, red, green, gap close reversal, break above resistance, a higher floor above the previous 90 minutes of resistance for 2 hours, green, red, green slanted pattern, buying call options on the opening of the last 30-minute candle for a strong bullish close, selling into the resistance, into the moves. If you did not capture that, you truly slept on the best opportunity, man. History was repeating itself all fucking day. We had all of the confirmations in the world. This is why the best trades are always going to be towards the end, man, because we're capturing these patterns when the chart is fully developed. This last 30-minute candlestick, you play for a bullish move on calls, add money on SPX or SPY call options, you make the biggest percentage gains in the market, the safest and low-risk way possible, because the chart is fully developed. The pattern is already working. SPY is already having a gap close reversal. SPY is holding for 2 hours above previous resistance. SPY is forming the green, red, green pattern, the green, red, green pattern. This is what nobody is willing to teach you. They're not willing to teach you how to win in this fucking market, man. So, in terms of the trades that I ended up today, I'm going to break this down for you, man. Let's get straight into it. It was very similar patterns. I'm going to walk you through this, man. So, in terms of my outlook for today, I ended up waiting towards 2 p.m. to trade. So, I'm going to walk you through this, man. We're going to go to 5:53. I'm going to show you, man, the trades. All of these trades on call options, man, we absolutely crushed it. I'm gonna explain this to you, man. So let me walk you through this here. So at 2:03 p.m., this was the first trade that I made on the day. Let's buy 553 calls at 71 cents a contract. Why did I buy these SPY calls out of the money at 71 cents a contract as soon as the 30-minute candlestick opened up green? I'm going to explain this to you. So I had noticed that in terms of today's price action, the SPY was having a gap and go. The SPY ended up gapping up, and it finally had that break above that resistance at 547. And if you watch the video, I made it very clear. Once the SPY has a breakout with a bullish confirmation above this 547 level, this 547 bull trap resistance level, it is going to explode up to fill the gap at 553.70. And then I made it very, very clear that's going to be your best level for put options, the exact high on the day, the exact low at 538 for the bullish call options gap close reversal strategy, man. This is the best fucking strategy in the fucking game, man. So with that being said, you can visually see there was a bullish 30-minute confirmation. We had a bullish pin in the bottom was above the previous resistance, above the previous resistance, above the previous bull traps. This is a very bullish confirmation. So the SPY was consistently breaking out throughout the day, going to 551 right here. And what it's going to try to do is it's going to try to start to fill the gap, man. If you study the overall price action and you measured the move properly, you can see last time SPY had a gap up towards this 548-ish level, and it reacted as support with this wick right here and this wick right here. It quickly exploded up to 555, and there's a gap that's waiting to fill above, and it's in the process of having a gap close reversal, a gap and go. You can stack all these fucking strategies together. You have to learn to read the market from this price action point of view, man. The SPY is having a gap close reversal. The SPY is having a gap and go. You stack all of these unique trading strategies together to read the market. So with that being said, you're going to see right here, look at this. It's trying to fill the gap the entire day. Now, this is what caught my attention right here. We had a green, red, green pattern, and that pattern has been working very successfully, man. Green, red, green, it uptrends for an hour. Green, red, green, it starts to uptrend, right? So I noticed green, red, green, and then we had this red bullish wick. Then we had this red bullish wick. And this is what I pointed out in chat, and this was very strong reasons to be bullish at this overall time frame. The previous resistance is confirmed 30-minute bullish support. So I made it very, very clear. If you looked at the overall move, we had this resistance at 547. We had a break above 547. It's going to start to fill the gap. It dropped back down to 547. Green, red, green. Do you see that? That is the pre-market's price action. In the pre-market, there was a green bullish 30-minute confirmation. Then we had the red candle, and the bottom of this red candle was a bullish wick at the previous resistance where the SPY had a breakout. And then you had another green candle, green, red, green, and then it starts to uptrend, man. So I'm noticing, if you look at this, the same exact patterns and strategies are working to an exact fucking team, man. Look at this. You have the green, red, green. It's bottoming at the previous resistance. The previous resistance is towards this 547. We're well aware if you measure the move, the SPY is going to start to explode up to fill the gap at 554, right? And then if you look, it drops back down to the previous resistance that was not tested at 549. This is why I made it very clear that if you looked at the overall trend, we're bullish. 547 had a breakout. Green, red, green pattern. This is bullish. Previous resistance reacting as bullish. Where's the new previous resistance? Right here at 549. You can see right here. It drops back down to 549. It tests the previous resistance. And how does it react? It reacts bullish. This red wick right here in the morning, and then this red wick here, what's it gonna do? Green bullish 30-minute confirmation. That's why I bought call options. I looked at this red 30-minute wick, and then I looked at this red 30-minute wick. I said it's the same fucking wick. SPY's gonna try to spike back up to retest these wicks, and then it's gonna try to explode back up and fill the fucking gap, man. And then in terms of another trade that I ended up having, right? So the confirmation was previous resistance reacted as support. This wick is bullish. This wick is bullish. It's going to explode up next 30 minutes. It's going to explode up next 30 minutes. So that is the reason why I ended up buying those call options. Due to the red wick, SPY was having a break above resistance, drops back down, reacts as support, which is bullish. Confirmation is the 30-minute chart. You buy call options towards the opening, and as it's dropping into the next 30 minutes, man, those were the overall reasons. Now, In terms of the next trade, so I did end up buying those call options at 71 cents a contract. And then in terms of selling those contracts, I did end up exiting at 130 a contract at 2:33 p.m. And then at 2:38 p.m., I ended up rebuying the same calls at nearly the same entry. I got back in on the dip at 81 cents a contract, and then I ended up selling those call options in the 124 range for back-to-back win on calls. Then later into the day, I had more wins on call options. But with that being said, the main reason why I got back in, green, red, green, right? And it's above the previous resistance. It's going to try to explode up and fill the fucking gap. And it makes no sense to be buying call options at 554 when, the gap has filled. It's going to be overbought. This is the level where you're going to want to buy put options. So that's some of the basics in terms of the recaps today. I had many wins on call options. That's what I'm going to be breaking down in terms of this video. Now, in terms of the new overall levels, this is what I want to prepare you to trade, right? So you have to patiently wait for these levels to hit. So you're going to set your price alerts so you don't miss out on the levels, and then you're going to use the 30-minute confirmations along with all the unique trading strategies that I'm teaching you, right? You have to stack everything it is that you know about trading into and towards these overall levels. So with that being said, this is what I have for you as of now. We have a new gap that is waiting to fill at 542. This is going to be your oversold gap. You guys are well aware we're in a bullish market, so if you are buying at oversold support levels, if you are buying at oversold gaps for reversals with a bullish 30-minute confirmation, you should not have a problem going green within this market and making good money, man. I'm telling you, if you just wait for the levels and you wait for the 30-minute confirmation. So sometimes, we're going to get a green bullish 30-minute confirmation exactly at the gap, and that gets us in at the gap. And then there's going to be other times where the green bullish 30-minute confirmation ends up closing at 540.50. So you're not going to get in at the gap if you use the 30-minute confirmation, but you're going to get in at the perfect fucking time for a massive move to the upside. So it's in the process and beginning to have a reversal, right? So like I said, you use the 30-minute confirmations. You're not going to be getting in at the exact lows and exact highs at times, but you're going to have a very high win rate, and the trade is likely going to go quickly in your favor for the next 30 minutes to the next hour. So with that being said, man, use these levels. We're going to be targeting call options at 542. This is a very oversold gap level. What you need to be aware about this is 542, if it reacts to support and we get a green bullish 30-minute confirmation, the SPY is going to quickly retrace back up to 546 to 547 because that's what it did last time. You see how you measure that overall move. We quickly went from 543 all the way to 547 in about 2 hours. So you see a bullish 30-minute confirmation towards that 542 level. We're going to be scalping call options, ride it back up to the 545, 546 zone. Now, in terms of our next overall level, you need to be aware of 547, man. This is a very key critical level. You can see right here, when 547 reacts as a resistance level, the SPY sells off very hard and very quickly to 543 to 539. Now, we're not going to be going with 539. That was the level we went with last time because there was a gap that's waiting to fill below. We're going to be raising the level now. The level is going to be 542. If you see a red bearish 30-minute confirmation at 547, buy put options. Ride this back down to 543. If you use the confirmations at these levels, you should not have a problem making money within this market, man. So I just gave you two phenomenal levels to trade at. Use the 30-minute confirmations along with everything else it is that I'm teaching you. Now, in terms of the next level, the next level is going to be the gap. We're going to have a new gap to fill right here at 550.81. So in terms of this level, I'm going to break down to you in terms of this overall level, man. So you can see right here, this like 550.81. So let's just break it down, man. The SPY filled the gap at 554. It did have a gap close reversal. I prepared you all to be short biased days in advance. No reason to buy fucking call options at 554. We were buying fucking call options these past 2 days towards the lows. Now, with that being said, in terms of this 550.80 level, man, this is your upper middle. So I want you to think as the overall bottom as this 542. 547 is going to be your make or break level where a massive move is going to trigger. If you see a 30-minute green bullish candle, it's going to react very bullish. It's going to explode up to 552. If you see a red bearish 30-minute confirmation, it's going to react bearish, and then we're going to go to 542. This is your make or break upper middle level. The SPY right now is attempting to have a gap close reversal. It filled the gap. It began to reverse. It's trying to sell off. For the bears to be in full control of this process of a gap close reversal, it has to go under 547 and react as a resistance. So this is your upper middle level towards some resistance. And we know the bears are trying to have a reversal at the gap currently. So this 551 level, it's going to be make or break in terms of your upper middle, man. If it reacts as support, we're going to be heading back up to 554. If it reacts as a resistance, we're going to be dropping back down to 547. And then that's going to be your make or break overall support level. So in terms of my main levels of interest, in terms of the easy money levels that I would be willing to give any beginner, you apply this with my strategies, you should not have any problems making money. The true best levels that you should really focus on are going to be this 547 to 542. Any levels above that, they're going to be far more advanced. It's going to require a more experienced and a more advanced skill set. So in terms of, easy money, and in terms of using the strategies and using the confirmations, what I can tell you in terms of making this video when the market is closed, 547 and 542 is your best focus. Focus on those overall levels. Right now, this is more of just, in terms of the other levels, you're really just going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for the market to open. We're going to have to wait for new levels. We're going to have to wait for new 30-minute confirmations. Like I said, in terms of a day before the market opening, that's what I can really give you, especially for beginners, is waiting for 547, waiting for 542, right? So for those of you who are serious about trading the best setups at the best prices with us, if you want to be a part of our secured private organization, it is going to be the first link down below within the description, man. I made it very, very clear in terms of those levels. You should not have had a problem making money within the overall market, man. I'm telling you, we have people, before they join the program, they make back multiple times at a program. We had Patel, he just joined. Big shout out to Patel. He ended up doing very well buying put options, man, at 545. I made it very clear in the video. If you see a red bearish 30-minute confirmation at 545, buy the put options. So there was a red bearish 30-minute confirmation towards our level, and then it went under. So you're buying these put options at the opening at 544, $1 below the level, using the 30-minute confirmation. There's other time frames you can use to try to get better entries, but the best is that 30-minute confirmation in terms of that high win rate, and then it's going to help dictate a longer-term trade for the next 30 minutes to an hour, right? But it was very clear, man, just even looking at the 1-minute chart, it cracked under 545, had a very nice drop to 544, and then if you look at the 1-minute chart, it was turning this previous support, this previous closing price into resistance, lower highs, selling off. Great confirmations to be buying put options on the 1-minute chart, on the 5-minute chart, on the 30-minute chart, man. Look at the 5-minute chart. All this red bearish wicks, all these red bearish candlesticks. After it cracks, has a nice drop, reacts as a resistance. You see how it bounces here? Bullish wicks at the bottom, cracks, flipping bearish, bounces back up. Previous support right here. This is the level to buy puts. Reacts as a resistance. Bearish wick. Buy put options. 30-minute confirmation confirmed. There is absolutely no fucking excuses to be read if you are implementing the game plan, man. And then there's other people, they say something like this. This right here. So looking at a printed chart and trying to implement a trading strategy while the market is moving are very different things. It's not in terms of the foundation. The foundation is to literally use a 30-minute candlestick that closes at or towards the level. So in terms of your entry, it's not. The market is closed. We find the levels when the market is closed, right? That's one way we find the levels. We find the levels when the market's fucking open. We find new levels in the pre-market. We're always finding fucking levels. When the market's closed, when the market's fucking extended hours, when the market's open, there's always new fucking levels. This is just a video in terms of a day before the market's open. But if you just used the game plan and then you wait for a 30-minute candlestick to close towards or at our level, it's a confirmation to enter. And then from there, you're trading, right? Then you're trading. But in terms of your entry, you can literally find phenomenal entries at these levels and then using confirmations when the candlesticks close, man. So if you're literally using a candlestick that is closed when the market is open, right? So it gets you in at the best fucking entry possible, man. So you got to implement, man. You got to take action, man. There's two types of people. There's people who take action on the game plans and they make money. And then there's other people that give themselves reasons on why not to take action on the fucking game plan. But look, if you took action on that game plan and you use the 30-minute confirmations, losing is literally a fucking choice, man. But like I said, you have to be able to read the overall market. And then, of course, intuition comes into play as well. But you have to be able to have an outlook and read the overall market, man. If we're seeing major resistance at 547 for fucking 3 days straight, and these are major bull traps, we're getting major sell-offs. Once that SPY breaks above that resistance and we're getting 30-minute confirmations, I mean, if you just looked in the pre-market, man, we had the green, red, green pattern in the pre-market. We had the red bottom wick above the resistance. Look at that, man. You notice how once the SPY finally has that bullish day to fill the gap, what does it do? It has a massive gap up. It has a gap and go. It has a bottom wick. You see that? A massive breakout, a bottom wick. Wait for the 30-minute candlestick to close. Get a higher entry on calls using the best confirmation, man. If you're using the 1-minute chart at open, trying to confirm if this is going to form a floor or resistance, anything can fucking happen. If you wait for a 30-minute candlestick to close, it's going to help dictate the overall direction, man, especially for the next 30 minutes to next fucking hour, man. So it's just so simple. But you have to know the levels. You have to be patient enough to wait for these 30-minute candlesticks to close at or towards the levels. Sometimes they're going to close above the levels on calls. Sometimes they're going to close below the levels on puts. But when you get the confirmation, you enter the trade. Based off of a closed candlestick, you enter the fucking trade, man. So I'm trying to put you onto the game that can make you fucking money at the speed of fucking light, man. We had the green, red, green pattern. Do you realize how many fucking times we capitalized on this pattern in the past fucking month? Go back and watch all the fucking trade videos, man. All I've been getting you in on is the gap close reversals and the green, red, green patterns that I've been teaching you for fucking years, man. Watch the videos. Implement the strategies that I'm teaching you. You understand? Everything it is I know about the market, I'm combining in my favor. And that's going to work best when it's already developed towards the last minute, towards the very end, man. We're using this strategy on SPY and SPX. Last 30-minute candle, playing for a bullish or bearish move throughout the last 30 minutes in the market, buying cheap, far, low-risk, out-of-money option contracts, selling deep in the money when we're right for the biggest percentage gains in the fucking market, man. It's the best strategy in the fucking game. The chart has already fully fucking developed. You can outperform many traders with the lowest risk possible, literally just trading from 3:30 to 4 p.m., man. If you're not using the 3:30 to 4 p.m., you're literally missing out, man. We use that fucking strategy perfectly. The green, red, green, break above resistance, 2 hours holding above resistance. Just think of all the stocks, man. Just think about that. How many people view the market like that? Green, red, green, slanted to the right side. That's a bullish pattern. Where is it reacting bullish? It's reacting bullish at the gap. That's a gap close reversal. So green, red, green, bullish pattern, gap close reversal. Right there. You buy call options on the opening of the 30-minute candle. And then how many people think like this? Oh, now it's in the beginning of having a gap close reversal. It's beginning to reverse at the gap. The green, red, green pattern is working. And then you look at this. Green, red, green. Bullish pattern. Breaks above resistance. Resistance, resistance, resistance. 90 minutes fucking straight. Resistance at 541. Support, 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 support. Support for 2 hours straight above the previous resistance. Green, red, green slanted to the right side. What are we doing? We're buying call options on the opening of the next candle, playing for a bullish 30-minute close because it's going to try to retest the highest wick. How many people are teaching that information? You understand? I didn't learn this in fucking books. I learned this by opening up my third eye to the fucking market, trading non-fucking stop. Trading every single fucking day from fucking for several fucking hours. Every single fucking day. Tens of thousands of hours throughout the past fucking decade. This is how I see the fucking market. I stack everything it is within my favor. If you are patient enough to wait for these levels and you are patient enough to capture these patterns, capture these trends, you combine everything it is with what I'm fucking teaching you, man. You should be printing at the speed of fucking light. No fucking problem, man. So, for those of you who are serious about being part of our secure private organization, it's going to be the first link down below within the description where you do get access to all of our real-time trade alerts. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow within the chat.